Hey everybody! Gonna wait just a second here and let some folks jump on. Give Facebook time to send the notifications out. Got the fire all going. The fire is nice and hot. Look at it back there. Back behind me. How's everybody doing? Hey Danny. Barbara, Betty, how y'all doing? Is everybody hunkering about down for more snow coming this weekend? That's all we're hearing around here, y'all. I don't know where it's coming from or if y'all are in the path of it, but the grocery stores up here are just wiped out. You can't find bread, you can't find milk. I don't know why they got to run and get bread and milk. Because usually we're only snowed in a day or two, if that. Y'all tell me where you're watching from tonight. We're going to have to depend upon each other with the weather coming. Because y'all know the weatherman's not even predicting. I'm like hearing 4 to 12 inches and 12 to 16 in Roanoke and all this crazy kind of stuff. Okay, 2 feet up in western New York. I can't even. Well, I have been in a blizzard before here. We have had blizzards in D.C. I know January 96 we had a blizzard and it was like, it was deep. But, so I have seen it like that before. All right, I'm giving people time to jump on here. Just saying hello to everybody. Y'all speak to me through the comments. Oceana, West Virginia, I've been there. Oh, okay. She's saying Roanoke is in the bullseye. I haven't heard that, but I did hear they're supposed to get like a foot or 8 to 16 inches or something. I wondered how they were going to get so much and we weren't. But I think it's going across North Carolina. Okay, now they're saying an ice storm in North Carolina. Well, we're going to have to jump on here this weekend. When it starts at y'all's house, you're going to have to let me know because it's going to start out west or in the middle somewhere. I don't know where this is coming up from. But I think Sunday day and Sunday afternoon. So we're going to have to get to church, get home, and hunker down. And then get on here and everybody can report their snow totals. My Pampered Chef party has not ended yet. My link is still out there on my page. If you need it, Barbara's posting it in the comments tonight. It will end for sure. For sure. I keep telling y'all it's ended, but then the Pampered Chef lady's waiting on some more orders. The checks haven't come in. So, you can still order on my party until midnight Friday. So you have, tonight is Thursday night and all day tomorrow. And then we got to cut it off for sure. Cut it off. Because I got to get my stuff ordered. So if you want anything else on my link, if you can't get anything this week, there's going to be some other links coming behind me. People who booked parties off of me. Their links will be on here. But my link will be on till Friday night. Okay, Danny, I see you got your cookbook. That was good. He won a free cookbook. Ashley, I see you on here tonight. No snow in Texas. Okay, Judy Ann said her party is starting the 16th of January. So there's going to be a couple parties coming in behind me. So if you're not able to order right now and you can order later on in the month, some other people's going to be posting some links. And I told them that was okay if they want to post a link in the comment. I'm not going to be posting their links for them. But if y'all want to post a link in the comments while we're talking or something on here, you can do that. Yes, Barbara Hanson, we as friends. We is friends. If you need my link and you don't know how to get to the link, you can go to my page and it's posted on there. I think a day or two ago it's posted. If you can't find it, shoot me. Click on the button that says send message and I'll send you the link. It's real easy to get the link. And then you just click on the link and order and it gets mailed directly to your house. And a lot of y'all have told me you have already received your Pampered Chef because as soon as you order, they start processing it. So you don't have to wait. In the old days, you had to wait till the party closed and then they would process all the orders. But now with it online, as soon as you order, they start processing. And a lot of y'all have already gotten your Pampered Chef. And if you have, tell me that you've gotten it in a link. And tell me if you've used anything yet. I want to know what y'all used, what y'all got, and what you used it for. Somebody said, how were the White Lily biscuits? I don't remember which ones I made. I make so many different kinds of biscuits. I haven't found a recipe that is my go-to recipe. I keep trying all these other different ones. Can you send to a PO instead? Are you talking about Pampered Chef or cookbook? Either one can use a PO box. You need marshmallows with the fire. Bailey saying, how was the pork chops and potatoes? If y'all haven't seen the video, I put a video out today. Tony's aunt had posted a picture of these pork chops baked in the oven. Austin Bragg putting on here, hold me, Mimi. I see you, Austin. That made me laugh. Anyhow, Tony's Aunt Nancy posted a picture of some pork chops with these little red potatoes, and they were baked in the oven. And they had all these spices on them and stuff, and they looked really good. So I looked up her page and seen where she posted the picture, so I made those today, and you had to bake them for an hour, so I didn't go live while I baked them, but I went live when I took them out of the oven, so I could show y'all what they look like. But I did post a video just a few minutes ago of me cooking those and how I prepared them, and y'all, they were excellent. All I did was slap them on that pan, put those seasonings in them, cut the potatoes, laid them on there, and I added some butter because I wanted mine to kind of get some butter tasting on them potatoes while they were cooking. Then they baked at 375, which is kind of a low temperature, and they baked for an hour covered up. And then I uncovered them and broiled them for about 5 minutes to brown them up a little. But they were excellent. They were tender, and this one thing I don't like to cook pork chops, because to me, I always thought pork chops were tough when you cooked them, because I always try to cook them too fast. But I'm not a Pampered Chef consultant. I am just doing a book party. The consultant's name is Linda, and some of y'all have expressed having a party. If you want to have a party, or you have any questions, or if you need help with your order, maybe you don't understand how to get the link, you can call this lady, Linda Weichel, and her phone number is 703-300-1035. That is Linda's phone number, and if Barbara wants to put it in the comments for me, she's real good to post all this stuff while I'm talking. It's 703-300-1035. Hey, Cheryl Shriver from Manassas. I see you on here. Yes, thank you, Barbara. Her name is Linda. She is a Pampered Chef consultant. I do not sell Pampered Chef. I'm only having a book party. So if you want to book off of my party, and then I get points, and then I can earn free gifts. And you can do the same. If you want to have a party, you can earn free gifts or discounted merchandise. Somebody said, how am I doing? You want to ask me a question? You can ask all you want. Sometimes I don't see all the questions. If I don't answer, it means I don't want to answer, or I don't have an answer, or I didn't even see your question. Because sometimes, I mean, Facebook only shows me a message here and there. What's the name of the potato slicer? It was called Rapid Press Mandolin. And it is on sale this week. I showed it a couple times on the videos. It was great. And it's called the Rapid Press Mandolin. And that's like my new favorite thing right now. I've been using it every day to cut stuff with, y'all. I really like it. Somebody just said, do you remember people saying pork chops and applesauce? If y'all's my age, y'all know that was come from the Brady Bunch. That's when the middle son, Peter, he kept going around. I think he was trying to talk like Humphrey Bogart or something, but he kept going around telling people they were eating pork chops and applesauce for dinner. I didn't really clean the fire. If you burn that fire really hot, and Tony's got it really hot today because it's cold, and if you burn it really hot, it burns some of that stuff off of there. I couldn't clean the glass because you actually have to take that glass out to clean it. And the glass has been hot all day, and I was afraid if I put cold water on it, it would shatter or something. So I didn't clean it, but you can see the fire is going good tonight. How do you make one of these kind of Facebook pages? You just go to Facebook, and there's a button somewhere on Facebook that says Create Page. And that's how you create it. You just click on that, and Facebook will tell you what to do. Anybody can create a page. All right, I made the pig picking cake. Yeah, a lot of people on that pig picking, they call it different things from all over the U.S. Everybody has a different name, but I get emails from some cooking place. I don't even know how they got my email address, but I get like a recipe every day, and actually the other day it came and it said, favorite southern dish is pig picking cake. So they called it the same thing I call it. That is a real fire. Y'all can see it's a wood burning insert. There's the wood right there. And that is a freestanding wood burning stove with real wood. All right, let's see if I can get this back down here. I'm trying to keep my Christmas sign out of it so it don't always say Merry Christmas in the background, but y'all can see the fire and see me. Yes, it is good and warm. Hi from Wisconsin. Yes, I am a natural blonde. I don't have no bleached blonde. It's actually natural gray blonde now. Gray keeps coming through it, y'all. But it is, I've been blonde my whole life. From the time I was a little kid, always had blonde hair. But now it's mostly gray. Kind of blonde looking, but the gray, it all blends in, so it just looks like my hair's highlighted, but it's really gray. All right, what else y'all got going on tonight? We're going to do, yes, I hate having roots. So that's one good thing is I don't have roots because I don't dye my hair. And sometimes I get it highlighted, but highlighted, you really don't have too many roots. So you just kind of blends the gray in with the blonde. The fire going on well. I don't know what's the temp. Yeah, my Christmas is still out, y'all. Got gingerbread. Looked like the gingerbread house blew up in my house. But Tony likes all these decorations, and he doesn't want me to take them down yet. Susie Q made us good old potato soup tonight. Well, that sounds good. Do I ever cook on the wood stove? We had to last week because the power was out for 2 days and a few hours. So we did cook on there. And I just ordered me a new pot. I was just using my regular pots from the kitchen, but they were getting really hot and I was afraid they would mess up. So I ordered me one of those Pampered Chef rock crocks because it can go up to 700 some degrees. It can go in the oven, the microwave. It can go on top of the stove. You can put it in the it comes with a base where you can make a crock pot out of it. You can put it on your grill. You can put it on the wood stove. You can go in the freezer. So that pot, I ordered the Dutch oven, and it is real versatile and can be used for a lot of stuff. You get my order, Kathy Rinaldi. I believe I did. I did get 3 money orders this week. So all the cookbooks have been mailed out except I think 3 came today. They haven't been mailed out yet. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to take these decorations down. I thought about doing it this weekend because we're off Monday for holiday. It's President's Day or one of them. This one's Martin Luther King. The next one's President's. So we're off Monday. But I think I'm going to just leave it up a little while longer. Tony likes seeing all the decorations. So I guess we'll leave it up a little bit longer. It's not so dreary in here. The glasses that I got on, I get them from a company named Zenni, Zenni, and you just order them online and they're really cheap. So you can get a pair of glasses for probably under $50 a lot of times. Not like when you go to the eye doctor. They want like an arm and a leg in your first child if you order glasses. Okay, Terrence, you just have to go and say, create page, and then you just answer all the questions. And that's how you create a page. A profile on Facebook, if you have a profile, like everybody creates a profile, that's your personal profile. But if you create a page, that's like a business page or, like this is sort of like a business page, is how they view that. Yep, gas right now is an arm and a leg and your firstborn child. Oh, it's crazy, y'all. And the price of groceries or the price of eating out. We went the other day somewhere and we got a sub sandwich. They were 8-inch sub sandwich, steak and cheese. I want to say they were $10.95 for an 8-inch sub. And then we got a drink and fries. And for two subs, and they weren't that big, y'all. There's an 8-inch. 2 subs, 2 fries, and 2 drinks. I think it was $32. I'm like, what in the world? We better get to cooking with Pam Davidson because it's so expensive. All right, let's see what else. How much is the rock crock? There's different size rock crocks. It's called a rock crock. I bought the Dutch oven. So it's like 4.5 quarts or something, and it has the lid. And the nice thing about it is you can start it on the stovetop. Like if I'm making chili or soup or something like that, which a lot of times I do make that in a Dutch oven. I put that on the stove and I start my chili and I fry my hamburger up. So you can use that same pot. You get all your stuff made on the stovetop and then you just take it and it comes with a base. And you just set it over in that base and the base acts like a slow cooker. So it's got medium, high, and keep warm on it. So I thought that would be great because a lot of times I'll cook stuff, especially on the weekends. I'll whip it up around noon or something and then just want to set it over there. Like in the crock, but usually I cook it in one pot and then I pour it into the crock pot. So this way, and the rock crock with the base, the Dutch oven with the base that acts like a slow cooker, it's on sale right now for $175 for the 3 pieces, because you get the pot, the lid, and the slow cooker base. All right. All right, let's see what else. I'm trying to look for some comments here coming up. I'm trying to answer them as fast as I can, y'all. But are y'all ready to we'll finish talking, and then we'll get on to finish up Ruth. We're going to be in the last chapter of Ruth tonight. There's 4 chapters, and we did 4 or 5. I think chapter 1 we did it in 2 nights, and then we did chapter 2, 3, and then tonight 4. I don't have any La Cruciate or whatever that was cookware. All my cookware is Pampered Chef or cast iron skillets. I'm not going to be having a second cookbook anytime soon. Maybe someday when I retire and all that, but right now I've only had this cookbook. I haven't even had this cookbook a year yet. So I think I got it I want to say around April or May last year I got it. And I've already sold like 700 copies, which I was surprised I sell that many, but I still got a few left. I don't know if I'm going to order any more or not. So if you want one, you better get on it. Oh, okay. Everybody say they got their Bible out. They're ready for Ruth. So we're going to go. Do y'all need me to do a recap? Because the videos are out there. You can go back. If you go to my page, if you type in Keep Cooking with Pam Davidson, and when the page comes up, click on the little tab that says videos, and then you scroll down and you'll see Fireside Chat. I'm going to go back and try to tag each Fireside Chat so you'll know which one was chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then tonight's chapter 4. Okay. Chapter 1, 2, and 3 is already out there, and I recapped it. So we're going to get right into chapter 4 of the book of Ruth. This is the final chapter of Ruth. And I had told y'all, let me back up here. Ruth is an important chapter for a couple reasons. Because it is the foreview of the church. Because Ruth, let's see, Ruth, as the Gentile bride of Christ. Ruth was a Gentile. And y'all know the Israels, the Jews are God's chosen people. But he sent Jesus, and Jesus died also for the Gentiles too. So Ruth was a Gentile. So there you have it. And she married Boaz. She getting ready to marry Boaz. I'm jumping ahead of myself tonight, y'all. But anyhow. Okay. So anyhow, this book represents the foreview of the church because it gives the normal Christian experience, because in chapter 1, Ruth has to decide what she's going to do. Just like someday you're going to have to decide either you're going to follow Christ or not. Ruth, number 2, chapter 2 is Ruth is serving. And that's when she's in the fields working. Number 3 is she's resting. Number 4, she gets her reward. So, the book of Ruth covers a period of 10 years. And just a real short recap, this lady Naomi and her husband, there was a famine in the land. They left Bethlehem, moved over to Moab, and took their 2 sons with them while they were in Moab. Both sons got married to Moabite women. And then Naomi's husband died, and then her 2 sons died. So it left the 3 widows. And Naomi told them, said, y'all stay here, but I'm going back to my homeland, Bethlehem. And her one daughter-in-law said, okay, I'm out of here, bye. Kissed her and, waved. And then Ruth said, no, I'm not going to leave you. Wherever you go, I'll go. Your people shall be my people, and my God, and your God shall be my God. Because she had watched Naomi, and she had seen Naomi's life, and she had seen that Naomi was a follower of Christ, and that God was important to her. And Ruth was in Moab. and they were Gentiles, and they were pagan people, and Ruth was a princess over there. So she had it made, but she wanted to she left all that behind. She said, I'm leaving it all behind. I'm going to follow you and your God. So that's what she did. So they get back to Bethlehem. They roll up in there, and Naomi, the mom, or the mother-in-law, she's very bitter because she lost her husband and she lost her 2 sons. And that's the reason we were doing the book of Ruth with all of y'all, because so many of y'all are widows. So she was very bitter because she thought the God Almighty, she said, God Almighty has dealt harshly with me, and you know, I came here full and now I'm going home empty, and so on like that. So when she got there, people in town was whispering, is that Naomi? Is that Naomi? Is Naomi back? Because she had been gone 10 years. And Naomi said, don't even call me Naomi. She said, call me Mara, because the Lord hath dealt very bitterly with me. That she went out full and he brought her home empty. So they get back there, and that ends chapter 1. Now chapter 2, Naomi says, look, Ruth, we're hungry. You got to go get us some grain or something. And so Naomi doesn't say anything to Ruth, but Naomi knows that her husband had a near kinsman. And back in these times, if you had a kinsman, somebody that was kin to you, and the man dies, then the kinsmen are supposed to redeem and take care of Mary, or whatever they got to do to take care of the widow. So Naomi tells Ruth, get your honey out there to the field and get us some grain. I'm going to stay home and you bring some grain back. So Ruth sets her alarm clock, and she gets up real early and rolls up to the field. Now there's all kind of fields around. She doesn't know one from another because she's a stranger in this land. She's never been to Bethlehem. So she rolls up on this field, and they got servants there, and they got little reapers that's reaping the grain, and they got a bunch of maidens in there, and they're all picking the grain and stuff. Well, then they have these things called gleaners. And a gleaner is somebody that just gets the leftovers, the scraps. A little morsel here and there is all they're going to get. Because if you're a good reaper, you're not going to leave anything. Because you got a servant up above you that's watching what you're doing. And you probably lose your job if you're not a good reaper, because somebody very wealthy owns that land. And they're trying to make money on it. Yeah, I forgot the part about they rolled up on their camel. When they left Moab, Ruth and Naomi, they called up and they said, okay, get on the donkey or get on the camel. We got to hightail it over to Bethlehem. I'm going back to Bethlehem with you, Naomi. So I don't think they walked that whole way, y'all. I think they got them a ride somehow. But anyhow, Ruth looked out for Naomi, because Naomi's old, and she needed help getting up on that camel. Okay, so Ruth is down there working in the field, and at the end of the first day, she goes home and she hardly has anything, because the reapers, they just didn't drop much. So she said, look, this is all I could get. And so the next day, she goes back. Naomi tells her, go back. And now Naomi knows what field she ended up in, because she asked Ruth, where did you go today? And so she told her where she went. So Naomi knew that she was in her near kinsman's field, but she didn't tell Ruth. So the landowner shows up, Boaz. So he'd been to town getting him something, and he comes back from town, and he rolls up on his field, and he asks his servant, he says, who is this damsel in my field? Let me find it here. Yeah, he said, whose damsel is this? He thought she might belong to somebody. And the servant said, it is the Moabitish damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. And right away he knew, because he knew who Naomi was. He knew he was kin to Naomi, because he was kin to Naomi's husband that died. So anyhow, Ruth said, I pray you let me glean and gather after the reaper. Then Boaz said unto Ruth, said, hearest not thou, my daughter? Go not to glean in another field, neither go from thence, but abide here in my field. Let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thou after them. And he told the young men there, don't touch this woman, but y'all let her, he tells his reapers to drop handfuls on purpose, because he's done taken a liking to her. And she said, why are you being so good to me, Boaz, seeing that I'm a stranger? And Boaz said unto her, it has fully been showed me all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law since the death of her husband, and how you left your father and mother in the land of nativity, and came unto a people which thou didn't know anything about. So then she said, let me find favor in thy sight, for thou hast comforted me, and for thou hast spoken friendly unto thy handmaiden. Okay, then Boaz got to get a liking to her, right? So he says unto Ruth, he says, at mealtime, now he's done telling her, ain't it time for a break? He said, at mealtime, come thou hither. Ain't that how somebody ask y'all out for a date today? They don't say, would you like to go out to eat with me? They say, at mealtime, come thou hither. I just love it. And eat of the bread, and dip thy morsel in the vinegar. And she sat beside the reapers, and he reached her parched corn. Y'all, he gave her some corn. All she was getting was little handfuls of grain. And she did eat, and she got her belly full, and then she got up and left. And when she was risen up and gone, she got back to gleaning. See, she was a woman of integrity. She was a hard worker, and Boaz already seen that. He's seen that she took care of Naomi, and he sees that she's a hard worker. So she jumped right back up and started gleaning some more, and he told his reapers then, leave a whole bunch, drop some on purpose. So she gleaned that field all day until the evening, and she got a whole big bushel full of barley. And she took it up and went into the city, and her mother-in-law saw that what all she had gleaned, and gave to her that she had reserved after was sufficed. And her mother-in-law said unto her, she said, Where hast thou gleaned today? And where wroughtest thou? Blessed be he that did take knowledge of thee. And she showed her mother-in-law with whom she had wrought, and said, the man's name with whom I wrought today is Boaz. So now she tells Naomi, she said, the field what I was in, his name was Boaz. So Naomi, she knew good and well who Boaz was. Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, blessed be he of the Lord, who hath not left off his kindness to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her, the man is near kin unto us, one of our next kinmen. So there she finally tells Ruth, said, that man's one of our near kinsmen. And Ruth said, he said unto me also, thou shalt keep fast by my young men until they have ended all my harvest. So that means he told her, come on back up here. You roll up into my field every day. Don't you go looking for nobody else's field. Until the harvest ends, you come to my field every day. So Naomi said, it is good, thy daughter, that thou go with his maidens, that they meet thee not in any other field. So she kept fast by the maidens of Boaz to glean until the end of the barley harvest. So she went every day until the end of the barley harvest. So that took us up to chapter 2, y'all. Yeah, I think I'm going to tell Tony next time I cook dinner, come thou hither. Come thou hither. I got some corn for you. Okay, now chapter 3 real quick. This was the good chapter, y'all. I like chapter 3. So then Naomi, the mother-in-law, she says to Ruth, my daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz our near kin, with whose maidens you were today? Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. See, Naomi done sought out where Boaz, what he was going to be doing. It was custom for the landowners to do the threshing on the threshing floor. That's when, like, they stand in there and they take the big old pitchforks and they throw the stuff up in the air and they get the wind to go through it, and they're separating the wheat from the chaff and all that stuff. I don't know what all they do. But they got to do it in the evening time when the wind comes in and blows. So he was going to be down there on the threshing floor that night, and Naomi knew it. So she was already plotting how she could get Ruth to get down there. So she tells Ruth, you need to take a bath. She said, you got to smell good. She said, wash thyself therefore and anoint thee. That means put you on some perfume and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man until he has ate and been drinking. So I don't think that means he was drinking, whatever. I think it's just, after he ate dinner and drank his big old glass of water. And it shall be when he lieth down, because he's going to be tired after he threshes this wheat all this time. So, and it shall be when he lieth down that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, that thou shalt go in and uncover his feet and lay thee down. And he will tell you what you should do next. So Naomi's very wise. She's telling Ruth what she needs to do. And she did not tell Ruth to go down to the Victoria's Secret and get you some little skanky stuff and put on and try to seduce that man. She said, you go in after he's done ate and drank and laid down to go to bed. Yeah, he probably drank a big old glass of sweet tea. So once he gets in the bed, lays down, you go over there and you uncover his feet and you lay down at his feet. Now, I don't know what in the heck she told her that for, y'all, but that's what she told her to do. So I guess maybe that was some sign that, it just shows what integrity that Ruth had. She didn't try to, work her way into his little threshing bed on the floor. She wasn't trying to be all skanky or nothing, She was honoring him. She laid at his feet. She uncovered, and them feet had to be something up in them sandals. They was probably dusty, dirty, whatever. So, and she had to lay there all night long. But anyhow, she did it. And let's see. I don't want to lose a place. I want to quote all this stuff because it's good. So, mark the place where he lies and go in, uncover his feet and lay down, and he will tell you what you should do. And she said unto her, all that thou sayest unto me, I will do. So she told Naomi, whatever you tell me to do, that's what I'm going to do, because she knew Naomi was wiser and all that stuff. So she went down to the floor, and she did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her to do. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of the corn. And she came softly and uncovered his feet and laid her down. Ain't that sweet, y'all? Y'all know how to catch a man now. You catch him in the bed and go lay at their feet. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid, because he woke up And he turned himself, and behold, a woman was laying at his feet. Now, y'all know it's dark probably in there. They probably didn't have no candles burning because it could probably catch the wheat on fire. So it's dark in that place. Once it got dark at night, it was dark. So he wakes up and he feels somebody laying at his feet. Yes, that's probably a sign of submission and respect for the man. All right, so when he turns over, and he probably kicked her in the head or something, you know, and like he was afraid because he didn't know who or what was at his feet, and he said, "Who art thou?" At that point, he didn't know if it was man, woman, dog, whatever. He said, "Who art thou?" And she answered, "I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thy handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman." So she told him then, "I know you're a near kinsman." And he said, "Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, inasmuch as thou followest not a young man, whether poor or rich." So he's telling her, "I saw you down there in the field, and all my men was down there working, and it says, you follow us not the young men, whether poor or rich." So she wasn't, he had his eye on her, and he watched what she did, and she came to that field to work, and she wasn't chasing no men around that field. Okay. "And now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that thou requirest." So she confronted him and said, "I know you're my near kinsman." So he said, "I'm going to do what thou requirest, for all the city of my people doth know that thou art a virtuous woman." So she proved himself again that she's a virtuous woman by just coming in and laying at his feet. So that might have been a sign that she was interested in him too, and she was letting him know that. And he says, "And now it is true that I am thy near kinsman. Howbeit, there is a kinsman nearer than I." And y'all, that probably just about broke her heart, because she knew he was the near kinsman, and she knew that he could redeem her and marry her. And now he's telling her, "It is true that I am a near kinsman. However, there is a kinsman nearer than I am." But he told her, "Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning, that if he will perform unto thee the part of the kinsman, well, let him do the kinsman part. But if he will not do the part of the kinsman to thee, then will I do the part of the kinsman to thee, as the Lord liveth. But right now, lie down until the morning." So he told her, just lie back down and sleep, and we're going to figure this thing out in the morning. All right? And she lay at his feet until the morning, and she rose up before one could know another. You know, I don't know what that means, because, you know, they usually, back in the Bible times, if you slept with somebody, you knowed them. But she said that she rose up before they could know each other. And he said, "Let it not be known that a woman came into the floor." So he told her, "Don't tell anybody you came here." Because I guess rumors would start flying through the town, you know, if they knew a woman was up in the threshing house, because that was probably where the man was going to work all night, and little women weren't supposed to be up in there. So he told her, "Don't tell anybody you came up in here." And so he said, "Let it not be known that a woman came into the floor." And also he said, "Bring the veil that thou hast upon thee, and hold it." And when she held it, he measured 6 measures of barley. It's like she had this big cloth thing that she was going to, you know, carry the stuff in, the wheat. So, and when she held it, he measured 6 measures of barley and laid it on her, and she went into the city. So he loaded her up with some stuff before she left that day. So he was going to take care of her, because he knew she was going to take that wheat back to the town, back to Naomi, and they would have plenty to hold them over till he figured out all this near kinsman stuff. And when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, "Who art thou, my daughter?" And she told her all that the man had done to her. And she said, "These 6 measures of barley gave he me. For he said to me, Go not empty unto thy mother-in-law." Then she said, "Sit still, my daughter, until thou knowest how the matter will fall. For the man will not be in rest until he has finished the thing this day." So he already told, she said, "Just sit down right here. He will not rest till he gets this taken care of today." All right, finally on to chapter 4, y'all. We're going to finish this thing tonight. This whole book is just 4 chapters. I think it's 85 verses. That's it. Real easy to read. Okay, then went Boaz up to the gate and sat him down there. And behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by, unto whom he said, "Ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here." And he turned aside and sat down. So here when he went out there, here came that near kinsman that was nearer than he was. And he said, "Ho, come on over here, buddy. We got some business to take care of." And then Boaz took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, "Sit ye down here." And they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman, "Naomi is come out again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was our brother Elimelech's." That was her husband, whom these 2 men are kin to. "And I thought to advertise thee, saying, Buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know. For there is none to redeem it beside you. And after you, I will redeem it." So he's telling this man, Naomi's got a piece of land to sell. So if you want to buy it, buy it. But if you don't want to buy it, then tell me now, because I'm next in line and it's going to be my turn to buy it. So guess what the guy says? He says, "I will redeem it." Okay, now here's the kicker. Then said Boaz. So now Boaz says, okay, now the man says he wants to redeem it. So then Boaz says, "What day thou buyest the field," let me see. "What day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must also buy it of Ruth the Moabite, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead unto his inheritance." So he said, not only can you buy the land, but you got to marry this woman that's going with the land and her inheritance, because the land was her dead husband's. So you got to act upon his inheritance. And the kinsman said, "No, sorry, I can't redeem it for myself, lest I mar my own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it." So then he's thinking, and he says, "No, I can't redeem it. It's going to mess up my inheritance." So I don't know what that man's inheritance was. I don't know if he had kids or their kids or whose kids, but he didn't want to mess up his inheritance with his children probably or whatever. So he didn't want to get involved with this, taking on this woman. And then you have to honor her dead husband, and then the inheritance would be in her husband's name, and yada, yada, yada. So anyhow, he backed out. He said, "Nope." And the kinsman said, "I cannot redeem it for myself." Okay, now this was the manner in the former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing. For to confirm all things, a man must pluck his shoe off and give it to his neighbor. This was a testimony in Israel. So when they struck a deal, then the person's got to take their one shoe off and give it, and that seals the deal. Therefore the kinsman said to Boaz, "Buy it for thee." So he drew off his shoe. He done took his shoe off. He getting ready to give Boaz the shoe and say, "We sealing this deal." Because when he found out there was a woman come with the property, he no longer wanted the property. And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, "Ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilion's, and all that was Mahlon's, of the hand of Naomi. So that's Naomi's husband and Naomi's 2 sons. Okay. So moreover, Ruth the Moabite, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren and from the gate of his place. Ye are all witnesses this day. All right. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, We are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah. Yeah, I was thinking that too. All these men that walk around town that have struck deals, all of them's just wearing one shoe. I think you're supposed to put their shoe on and then walk into the land and then it becomes your land or something. I'm not sure about that. Okay, and let the house be like the house of Phaez, whom of Tamar. It just goes on and stuff like that. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bare a son. And the woman said unto Naomi, Blessed be the Lord, which hath not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name be made famous in Israel. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age. For thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, hath borne him. So she said, your daughter-in-law was better to you than 7 sons could have been. Okay, so Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom and became nurse to it. And the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, There is a son born, and they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. And these are the generations, and it lists all the generations and gets down to Salmon begat Boaz, Boaz begat Obed, Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David. And David was the famous king of Israel, and he's in the lineage of Jesus, so you keep on going. And so Ruth, by marrying Boaz and had that kid, she is now the great-grandmother of King David. And it's going to go all the way down, and Jesus is going to be in the lineage. So that shows you that God used Naomi. Look how he used Naomi, and he used Ruth. And these are very important people in the Bible, y'all. And how God can use them. So just because Naomi was bitter and all that to start with, okay, somebody's saying I'm froze up. Do I need to get out and come back? All right, some people said they're just hopping on. All right, I don't know if it's, okay, I'm good. Okay, some people said I was freezing up. It might have been their phone. You never know. But I want to check with y'all. But anyhow, that concludes the book of Ruth. And I did 4 or 5 different fireside chats. So go back and watch them. Just go back and click on videos and look at them, and you'll see all the other nights. I put a little extra in there to make it interesting. Oh, okay. It froze up briefly, but it's okay. Yeah, y'all know I got bad internet here. I live in the country. All right. But we got through the book of Ruth. And that was just to let y'all know that no matter how old you are or where you are in life, you can still be used. God can still use you. It don't matter. As long as there is breath in your body, you can still be used to do good. So, I am not a teacher at all. I'm not a Sunday school teacher. Never been a teacher. I just was reading this to try to help some people. But I love the book of Ruth. But anyhow, we might read some from time to time, maybe in Proverbs or Psalms. Psalms is good. A lot of y'all live by yourself. You're lonely. You have a lot of anxiety. So it's always good to read in Psalms. I love Psalms and I love Proverbs too. So I try to make it interesting to y'all. Get you in your Bible. Oh yeah, I got that message about that great big cast iron skillet. Somebody sent me a picture or a video, and it was this huge cast iron skillet that was on the back of a tractor trailer. That's how big it was. It must have been for a store somewhere or something. It was the biggest. I mean, it was the size of a car, y'all. And it was on the highway, and they were passing it. Yes, Boaz is the Redeemer in this story, just like Jesus is our Redeemer. Jesus is our near kinsman, and he's the one that calls us out, saves us, and we have a choice to follow him, just like Ruth had that choice. Okay, we'll probably maybe start reading some Psalms. I told y'all before, if you got a Bible, try to read some in Proverbs. Proverbs is 31 chapters, and there's usually 31 days in a month. Some months have 30, but January had 31 days. So like today's the 13th, you would read chapter 13. And that way you always know what chapter you should be reading, because it's whatever day of the month it is. And it's good to do that. In addition, for anything else you're doing, just throw in an extra proverb every night. Because there's a lot of wise, I think Solomon, he was a real wise man, and he wrote a lot of, I think he might have wrote Proverbs. Oh, y'all said that was Brenda Gant's cast iron skillet going down the highway? Yeah, her mother-in-law was very smart, because you don't lure men that way. All right. What else is going on tonight, y'all? I don't know what time it is. Oh, we've been on here an hour already, y'all. Yeah, Tony's already laid back. He's already laid down, y'all. He chopped firewood all day, and he was plumb slap wore out. So, I fed him them pork chops and those potatoes and some broccoli, and he loved it. It was so good. The pork chop was tender. Go watch those videos. I posted them. That's all for tonight. We were just finishing up. I try not to make this too long for y'all. But go back and watch. This was, I think, the 5th lesson. So there's got to be at least, I think, 4 more lessons. And I'll try to go back and try to tag them, to put them in the video, or put them in the title. Yeah, Tony's back there laying down. I better go crawl in at his feet. Wonder what he would do if he woke up in the morning and I was laying at his feet. He'd probably think I was crazy, y'all. Oh, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get off, y'all. If you got any questions about Pampered Chef or cookbook, shoot me a message. I'll be up for a while. I got some stuff to do here. So just shoot me a message. Anything you need, I'll send you the link. I don't rest a whole lot, y'all. I just sleep a little bit at a time. It's hard to shut my brain down at night. So when I get tired, I'll lay down. And then I get up and go. But I'm off work tomorrow. So y'all might see me cooking something in the morning. We might try a waffle or something in the morning. I don't know. I got the waffle machine out. I've been making, I haven't posted it yet, but I've been making a muffin mix in the waffle iron. So it's good because it tastes like a muffin, but it's shaped like a waffle. So we've been on that kick. We've been doing them. So, but we might make a real waffle in the morning. I might try it. I haven't got my waffle iron down for a while, so I'm excited to get all my new Pampered Chef stuff. Anything, if y'all got something good in Pampered Chef. I haven't sliced any tomatoes with the mandolin yet. I only have some little tiny tomatoes. I might try a little tiny one. I don't know if it's if it'll do it or not, but all right. Yeah, we got to get ready for this other storm coming. I got to get this house cleaned up. I got to catch up on all the laundry and everything. So, in case we lose power again. But anyhow, thanks for listening tonight, y'all. I care about all y'all. I pray for my followers. A lot of y'all send me prayer requests too, so try to pray for that. We pray for the sickness of people. So many with COVID and other things. So y'all just remember each other in your prayers. The mandolin does chop lettuce. I put some iceberg lettuce in it because I like shredded lettuce. So it did a pretty good, decent job. If something don't work, I tell y'all. All right. So if I get a product and it ain't no good or it ain't worth the money, I'll say, don't waste your money on that. But anyhow, y'all be safe tonight, and I'll try to catch you tomorrow because I'll be home tomorrow. So I'll try to jump on whatever we're going to cook up. All right? All right, y'all. I might be out there stacking wood with Tony. All right, make sure you get your order in before midnight tomorrow night. Yes, if you send me a message, my PayPal is decemberjewel@verizon.net. And that's if you send me a message, you'll get an automatic reply about the cookbook. All right, I bought a bag of radishes. I bought some cucumbers. I bought a bunch of stuff because I'm going to play with that mandolin this weekend too. I'll probably make Tony a salad tomorrow or something because I want to play with that mandolin more. All right, y'all. Good night. Send me a message if you need anything.